I should have gone to sleep. But after cleaning my dinner off the floor, wiping down the cot, and remaking my bed twice, sleepiness turned into anxiety. As I tossed and turned, the female Earthling appeared outside my door. I was unsure whether or not Rusty spoken to her. She never said.
"Take this,"
was all she said. She tossed her journal onto my bed. Then she was gone. A small note attached to the cover gave me permission to pick any entry between 290 and 420. She also wrote instructions for me to speak directly into the book, which seemed odd. Feeling a bit silly, I leaned in close and spoke at the gears built into the journal's cover. Hello, my name is... please turn to page 336. No, wait! Entry 336. The small gears zipped into motion. The smell of ozone filled the air. The journal snapped open. Entry 97, page 336. I had made a terrible mistake. The female Earthling was not going to be happy with me. I should have shut the journal and explained what happened. It was an honest mistake. I would never intentionally disobey her. But as time ticked by and her journal sat opened on my lap, I realized my defense seemed less and less credible. And if I was going to get in trouble anyway... Transcribed from the female Earthling's journal. Journal entry 97. The Legend of Fen. The story used to frighten the young into behaving. The story that keeps the bravest looking over their shoulders. And the story that,
for good or for bad, made me into one of the most feared creatures in the galaxy. After following a bad lead to the spaceport known as Stratus, my partner and I split up in hopes of covering more ground. Moments before making my fifth skip, my ship lost power and I was forced to make an unscheduled stop on a lesser-known moon called Fen. A quick scan of the surface indicated a massive amount of activity near the equator. I decided to make landfall near a valley close to the northern pole, secure the area, and head out in search of material to help in the repair. 250 meters from the perimeter, I picked up high levels of telex beneath the soil. Knowing the Taranka keep the locations of their telex mines tightly guarded, I knew I most likely stumbled upon one of those mines. Assuming the Taranka would detect me, I quickly collected enough telex to make the repairs and hurried back to my ship. I was spotted by a Taranka drone from the west. I attempted a blind skip, but my ship became locked by a well-placed gravity snare. Making sure to conceal my face, I approached 3 Taranka soldiers who waited for me with guns drawn. Their outfits were quite different than the usual loose-fitting gray cloaks more common to their species. They explained that this moon was off-limits to all outside travelers. They appeared stressed and did their best to prevent their necks from fanning out in anger. Having past run-ins with the Taranka, I was well prepared to defend myself from their telepathic ability. I informed them of my situation, and that I simply wished to be on my way. They didn't buy it. I pondered ending the conversation in my usual manner, but decided to play along. They led me to their headquarters, where I was introduced to the Emir Fandala, Taranka in charge, known as Exethiel. Note, Exethiel appeared not to recognize me. Exethiel offered to help with repairs. I declined but thanked him. As I headed back to my ship, my sensors picked up large amounts of activity in my immediate area. Visually, there were no signs of life. No miners, no machines, no shafts leading underground. I ran a brief inspection of my ship and discovered a small device secured to the exhaust system. Upon removing the device, a shroud, for lack of a better word, lifted from the valley, revealing a multitude of creatures. I determined they were the parasons, gobbles. Mining and eating off the ground, they resembled tall, slender chickens with long rabbit ears. The gobbles immediately sensed me, and in response, sent high-pitched clicks into the air. My translator picked up 2 words. Their clicks grew louder. They climbed over one another in a futile attempt to get closer. I made attempts to communicate, but failed. A few larger gobbles sent out loud booming clicks, causing the others to race into the valley. Free us! Free us! These creatures were not bound in any way. No chains held them. No ropes. They begged to be freed. Freed in a way I could provide quite easily. I slipped off my glove. The crowd of gobbles rushed forward, fighting to make contact with their short, knobby fingers. I reached out and lightly tapped the forehead of the creature closest to me. The gobble briefly paused, then fell to the ground, dead. The clicking morphed into high-pitched screams as my death touch took hold and quickly spread out in all directions. 10 minutes later, an estimated 15,000 were dead, fanned out like fallen trees with me at the core. I reached my ship, made the necessary repairs, and fled the moon known as Fen. I laid low until all chatter of the incident turned from rumor to legend.